Hi, I'm Miss Kim, and we're talking about This is Living, and this is the way we live. This is my cousin James, and we've been watching the debate, the second one, and I'm telling you, I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm almost lost for word from the deceitfulness and lies. What do you say?
Well, I believe it's a lot to be said, you know. We just got to go with the facts. Not Obama, but Romney. He said many different things, you know. In this debate, he's lied. Interviews, he's lied. And last debate, you know, they gave him the edge. But he pretty much lied his way to seem as if he's won or he was a winner. And here tonight, Obama came with it, you know. He was more aggressive. And it seemed like he used more specific points.
Absolutely.
And he talked a little better, more about, you know, things that matter. He said a lot of things that seem like, you know, it affects more of the average American, you know, so.
And that's the point. You said the average American.
Yes.
So where do we go from there?
Well, where do we go from there? The average American. It's so multi-directional. Like you made a point before we was even on air. You made a point that everything, it was like a hoarding house.
Absolutely.
And a lot of things just need to be, you know, clean. It's like, where do you start? And you got a time limit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
A lot of things supporting the people in this room and supporting the people in this room. Like, where do you go? You know what I mean? And you gotta take in consideration how much that has to be done. I think a president really don't know how much they gotta do until they actually get in that position.
You're right. You're right. You know, and reason why I come up with the word hoarding is because I've watched the show Hoarding. I've seen some people hoarding. And when I used to own my own business as far as being a home care provider, and I did a lot of houses that were hoarded. And if you watch the show, that there's a lot of hoarding, and that's what I seen in the whole thing about running this country. What room do you start when you go into a house with there's so much hoarding? Do you start here? Do you start there? It gets to the point where you just say, let's stop. Let's start right here.
And the hoarding, it doesn't stop once the new president is elected. It's kind of like a train, you know. Once you stop the train, it still goes for another, I'm not sure, 100 feet or so. So you're still going to have progress after you make an attempt. And there's still going to be progress from the last election and everything else that's going on from the Bush administration affecting the Obama administration. And whatever he's trying to stop or whatever he's trying to initiate. So you got to take that into consideration of how long that train is going to keep going, how long these piles of mess is going to build up.
Absolutely.
Things of that nature.
Absolutely. Well, I'd like to touch on women's birth control. You know, I go back and I heard my mother, my grandmother talk about the back alley. And I don't know if you guys all know what the back alley means, but it will end up going, if we stop birth control and have jobs to control whether you should have birth control or not. This is Kenya. Good girl.
Yes, she is.
We're gonna have people back in the alley and in the kitchen slaughtering babies out of women. Where do we go?
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't want to go backwards.
If we deregulate or if we remove a lot of the contraceptive behaviors that we have, then we're going to go back to that.
Absolutely.
And it's up to the woman to have all types of contraceptive care available to her.
Availability.
And it's up to God to decide in that person's life what's wrong or not. You know, we just worry about our own lives as much as we can, and you know, stop trying to dictate what's right and what's wrong. It's up to that person and what they believe in, and have everything available. Just because it's available doesn't really mean that person is going to be more or less likely to use or not use, unless they can't because it's not available. But I think it should always just be there, just to have comfortability, you know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that it should be available for an individual that has been raped,
Yes.
incest,
Yes.
or if the mother is in danger, or perhaps even the child is going to be in danger.
Absolutely.
You know
Absolutely.
what
I
I'm saying?
totally agree.
From my perspective, if I was going to live life under a hindrance, I don't think I would prefer that. And if my mom could
Go play.
maybe, as harsh as this may sound, kind of abort me to eliminate potential problems, that's the decision that she had to make, then I guess I'm down and willing to accept that. That's just how I feel, because I'm already having a lot of, and just personally, my personal life today, I'm already having a lot of external problems as it is. So if you add a lot of defects and mental and fit and all that, it makes it even worse. You know what I'm saying? So if life is going to be unpleasant, what's an unpleasant life? You know what I'm saying? An unpleasant life to me is just a life of depression. Why you want to live your life if you can't live it to the full extent? So it's up to, you know, the mother should specifically just decide what's best, and that's why we need the availability of these programs.
You're absolutely right. It's about choice. And as my cousin was saying, the availability is what's most important. If you take that away, we're going backwards. And I'm with Obama about going forward. So, I'd like to say one thing I did agree with Romney was when he was talking about taking the savings and not taxing it.
Okay.
I can only give him 2 points on that.
Okay.
I was trying to give him. At least a 0.35 or something, but I just couldn't do it. It was a lot of lying. I've done a lot of research. We've talked and talked. I've listened to Obama. There are some things that he was unsure of, but that's the data that he was given. And I know some of the data also is given to Romney also, because you just can't know everything. But the thing is, it's about the facts. Yes, the economy is bad, but you have to be able to fix it first. And to be able to fix it first, you got to start somewhere.
Yes.
Once you get things in order, and that's what the world is about. It's about trying to put things in order. Once there's an order and not a lot of dismays and rigmarole, I know I'm using some words, but that's what it is. A lot of confusion, which the Bush administration had brought onto us. So.
And there's also a lot of things we can touch on, but it's a whole nother story, which is besides the point. You know what I'm saying? I guess you can say I'm kind of independent, you know, a liberal at the same time, not really a Republican or a Democrat. And strings are being pulled, but that's a whole nother segment, a whole nother vlog. We can touch on that in greater detail at a later time. But I've heard the term that the president is pretty much nothing but a puppet. And that'd be what I'll be speaking on later on.
That's a good thing. So you just come back and watch what we do. Come and enjoy us. Give us something to talk about. Boy, because we got some answers. If we don't have the answer, what we'll do is we'll get on the computer, we'll get on the phone, and we'll find the answer. We want to be in your face. And Romney, I'm after you. I'm just going to tell you before we leave. In my opinion, when I look at Romney, I just a few minutes ago was saying like, how many different names does Satan have? Is Mitt Romney one of them?
Possibly.
Wow. All right. Tune in next time. Talk to you later. Love.
That was fun. I like that.
Yeah. You're good.